Hello, welcome to smarthelping.com. I'm Jay, and this is the joint venture template bundle that you've landed on here. So you can buy each of these templates individually by clicking through to them and adding to cart, or you can get all of the templates you see here for a one-time bundle price of $199. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I came out of accounting. I worked for some small businesses. Then I moved into freelancing on Upwork in 2015, and I've focused on real estate deals and SaaS modeling extensively. I've also done all kinds of different template builds. But this, what you see here is all the work I've done with joint venture waterfalls. Normally, you'd see this in real estate. You'd also see it in oil and gas, and you could apply these to technically any deal. It's just a way to split cash flow based on equity invested. And then I'll go through each template so you can see what's going on here. Um, and by the way, nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping in, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Okay, so let's dive in. The first template is a general cash flow waterfall with 3 IRR hurdles. This is the staple for real estate. This basis for this template structure is used in just almost all real estate deals that are using joint ventures. It has just top line inputs. You can put in the cash, the investment requirements, the percentage of investment from the LP and GP, and then the distributions available each year, and then the hurdle rates and the promotes for the sponsor, and it will just show you the cash flow at each tier to the LP and GP over time. It also shows final exit, internal rate of return, and cumulative cash flow for the LP and GP. Next up, multi-member fund management. So this was actually this is for a long only fund. You could be buying crypto, buying stocks, and then when you sell, there's profit, and this has cash flow waterfalls attached to that initial investment of investors. It's got management fees in it, and again, the distributions are based on an IRR hurdle structure for the LP and GP, and the LP could be multiple members, like it says, multi-member who are investing over time in the fund. Uh, Next up, cumulative distribution hurdles. So this was an interesting one. This is based on total cash flow returned. So you can put in hurdle rates. So in this case, the LP or the investor uh, will be they can say, okay, between 0 and $1 million returned, cash is split, 100% 0 to the LP or 80-20 to the LP or whatever. Then from a million to 2 million, it's split another way, and so on and so on. I think I did 6 tiers in here and up to 60 periods. Next up, preferred equity. So here's a hard preferred equity model. There's a difference between hard and soft preferred equity. This hard preferred equity means the initial waterfall gives 100% of the cash flow to the LP until they've gotten their money back and their preferred return. After that, there is an equity kicker that can be entered. And then any cash flow remainder after that, I actually did a secondary IRR waterfall for the common equity. So this actually has an initial hard pref, and then following under that, subordinate to that is basically this template here I've hooked into the bottom. So there's preferred equity, and then there's also a joint venture common equity. And trust me, these deals go all kinds of ways, and there's all kinds of stacking that happens like that. It just depends on the deal. Preferred equity type 2 is just based on an equity multiple, and it is also a hard pref return. So the LP gets all their money back, or splits the cash a certain percentage up to getting their money back, and then they split another defined percentage up to a given equity multiple return, like a 1.5 equity multiple or a 2.6 or whatever, and then after that it's split another final percentage between the LP and GP. Uh, so this is just a little bit more of a simplistic way to do it, but it's more, I feel like it's easier to explain because it's not an internal rate of return that's judging the way cash flow is split. It's more of just the equity multiple. Everyone can see that. They know what it is. It's pretty easy math to figure out what that is. Um, so there's that one. Preferred return. So remember, preferred return does not mean preferred equity. In this case, preferred return, we are saying that it's a claim on the return, not the actual equity as well. So it just says you've got investor and sponsor. They might contribute some amount of money, and then the LP has an X% that they're guaranteed to get until any cash flow split thereafter. And then after they've reached their hurdle or their return each year, any extra cash flows can be split in another defined rate. There's never a return of equity, and it's not based on total return. It's just a return on the equity invested. Monthly waterfall. So this is a bit like the general waterfall here, except for it's on a monthly basis with a lot more periods. Also, it has a 5 scenario analysis, so you can test 5 different waterfall layouts and look at the final cash flows of each of those. Then we got multifamily acquisition. So this is my most used real estate spreadsheet. It's for multifamily up to 4 properties, and it has this hurdle connected to it. This style of a joint venture waterfall hurdles. Then we've got self-storage. This is actually up to 6 funds, and each fund has its own joint venture waterfall. And the logic here to match everything up was super unique, super extensive. That's why I included it in the joint venture bundle, because it has joint venture logic in it. That's really cool. Mixed use is just a regular real estate model, but I did put just a joint venture waterfall on the bottom of it, and I included it in this template bundle. Okay, those are all the structures. Again, they're designed to just fit into whatever model you have that spits out cash required, cash distributed. You can plug in the rates and returns and see how the actual cash is split if you're doing a joint venture. Again, the whole model, whole bundle of models is only $199, or you can buy them individually. Uh, and yeah, that's all I got for you. And these, if you want to see more, check out the Financial Models tab at the top. I've got actually over 100 different unique spreadsheets for all kinds of different industries. I also have specific real estate models here, mobile home park, self-storage, some flipping calculators, all kinds of things, industry-specific financial models, joint venture. This is what we just went over. I've got accounting tools, HR, all kinds of stuff. But yeah, you can buy actually everything on the site for $9.99. The joint venture bundle itself is only $199. Alrighty, take it easy. I'll see you guys on the next one.